Well, what's up, you guys? It's your boy Miguel giving you another daily dose of radiation. For those who do not know, I am an x-ray tech at a Trauma 3 Center, and I do night shift from 8 to 8. In today's video, mainly for the students or those who are new to working in the hospital, how often do you interact with other people in the hospital? I'm talking about medical workers. So, if we start from our little field of radiology, right? We'll just base this off of, branch out. So, I would say as far as ultrasound, CT, MRI, all them boys, the ones usually we interact a little bit more would be CT and then occasionally ultrasound, but they're more situational based because they really don't get called in too much at night. Sometimes they do work overnight, but ours work at surrounding places. But CT will work with them more because we will usually x-ray the same patients, and either they'll help us move patients or we'll help them, interact. So we'll interact with them a lot more. And then outside of that, with nurses, of course, they're always in the room, so we'll interact with them quite a bit. And as far as, I forgot the rads. So the radiologists, we really don't interact with them much unless you messed up on something, they'll call you, or if they want to know more details about something, they'll call you. So, like, actual interaction as far as human to human, not that much, I would say. Unless occasionally, rarely do we do floor overnight. So that's the only time they would come in and you would actually face to face do something with them. But I would say rarely do we ever get to interact with them to do that kind of work. And then once again, the doctors, most of the time, they'll just be sitting in their little desk. I'm talking about the ER doctors. And they'll put in the orders and you kind of do your x-rays. The more times you'll be more interacting with them, with the doctors in the emergency room, is if you're in the trauma room and they need something and they tell you right there, we're going to do this, that. Or if you catch them in the room, like leaving the patient room or heading into the patient room, and they'll tell you, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So that's the most interaction we get with those doctors. And then once again, the ones from the floor, you rarely see a lot of them ever. Most of the time they're kind of only wake me up if you need me type of situation, especially even for the nurses. The ones we interact with more is the NICU ones. They will be there awake because it's mainly for central line placement. All the doctors on the floor who do central line placements, for sure you'll see them more. ICU, for sure you will see them more and you'll interact with them more because their patients are more not good. Residents, student doctors, you'll catch them doing their rounds more, and they will ask you many questions about x-ray now. I guess because they don't know how exactly some of the stuff works around in our hospital, because they're students, and occasionally you may just voice. They might call you as the online rads if you put something online for the online rads, which that's occasionally they'll ask you to send something else, or have questions about the patient, stuff like that. That rarely happens, but that's another interaction that could happen with the doctors. Respiratory for sure. I would say it almost goes half and half, seeing respiratory with nurses interacting. But with nurses, there's more of a chance you can't take your picture right away compared to respiratory. Respiratory be like, yo, I need to see what's going on with my man so I can treat him. Go ahead, shoot your pic so I can look, and I can adjust my tube, or I can do what I gotta do. So that will happen too for them. And then you have the good old infamous rapid response team, which once again, they are, once again, situational based. And those doctors and the nurses, mainly for chest x-rays, they'll call, those are the true stats you'll have at the hospital. And I think that covers most of the, sometimes you'll interact with IR, which is specials. They'll come in to do like some work occasionally, but you'll kind of know ahead of time because the rad will call you and ask who's on call, so they can call them in. So you'll kind of know ahead of time, if they're gonna be coming in. Once they ask, you already know you're at least gonna get a chest X-ray out of the person, so you'll have them come in too. MRI rarely, because the MRI stat rarely happens because it really doesn't exist unless it's like brain bleed. But then, I've seen MRI during my 1.5 years working at the hospital only like one time. Have I actually even seen them at my facility? So that doesn't happen that much. Let's see what other stuff. I think that covers the most people that we interact with. And then your supervisors, as far as us, well, it's got a hit or miss. Sometimes we'll see them get them out because they arrive at 8 a.m. So you're leaving, so you really don't interact with the supervisors of our department unless they call you in. They need some HR stuff. Then you will see them from time to time. But yeah, it's been your boy Miguel. Hope you enjoy your daily dose of radiation, and see you on the next one.